Time now, 6:35, happening today in St. Petersburg. It is reimagining one of the most valuable waterfront properties for the city.
And the city is asking for input from the public on the future of the Port St. Pete, a site that could become a hub for science, recreation, maybe even more than that. 10 Tampa Bay's Nick Volturo live in St. Pete with what's on the table ahead of tonight's community meeting. Good morning, Nick.
Jameson, Caitlin, good morning. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Later today, city leaders will host a community workshop to really get a chance to talk about the future of Port St. Pete. Now, they say this area has enormous potential, but it really needs a new vision that reflects just how much this area has changed. Now, Port St. Pete has quietly become a center for marine research, sitting on 4 acres of waterfront in the Innovation District. It features a 1,200-foot wharf and sits near USF and Albert Whitted Airport. Now, the city has made small improvements over the years, but the master plan, that hasn't been touched since 1999. Tonight, city leaders will share a new vision to create a multi-use space that balances science, recreation, and public access. They say this is really a chance to turn a hidden asset into a community destination. And the meeting starts tonight at 5 p.m. at the Coliseum. They're going to be asking residents to give their feedback and also weighing in on what they want the future of the waterfront to look like. Anyone who's not able to attend tonight's meeting, they could also weigh in on an online survey to be able to offer their input as well.
Yeah, Nick, waterfront property, obviously very valuable these days. We hear a lot about Port Tampa Bay, never so much about Port St. Pete here. So this is going to be a long-term project. Any specific changes city officials are hoping to make to that port?
Yeah, you make a great point, right, Jameson? We hear all about Port Tampa Bay, but you never really hear about Port St. Pete. And they're looking at several big upgrades. They really want to make those deeper wharves to make it a lot easier and more accessible for those bigger ships. They also want to create some new piers for public access and improve the infrastructure, really for economic growth and environmental sustainability. The whole idea of this is to really create a multi-use waterfront, and that includes benefiting residents, visitors, and researchers alike. So they really want to get all that input and then come up with a new vision for what this area is going to look like. And again, the public has a chance to weigh in at 5 p.m. tonight at the Coliseum. For right now, reporting live in St. Pete, Nick Volturo, 10 Tampa Bay.